Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There is a clear class element to the liberal agenda, liberal ideology, and so on. Things like LGBT issues, feminism, gender issues, trans issues, secularism, free speech, so on and so on and so on. These are largely the rhetorical and ideological domain of people who don't have real problems. They've even been called first world problems because poor and working people have real and more pressing issues to deal with in their daily lives. Now, this is important because since there is this class element to that ideology and to that agenda, if one wants to be associated with the upper class, all you have to do is espouse these values, espouse this ideology, espouse these ideals, espouse and align yourself with this agenda. This can actually provide you some degree of upward social mobility. You can very easily find yourself rubbing shoulders, rubbing elbows with the elite. People who fund NGOs, people who fund and hold and organize liberal events and so on, who support liberal causes. It's a pretty quick and easy way to associate yourself with and ingratiate yourself to the upper class. Now, in the Muslim world and in the global south generally, obviously this mirrors the experience of colonization, particularly since we're talking about ideologies that were largely born in, flourish in, and are prioritized by the West. And just as in colonial times, the upper class often colluded with and collaborated with colonizers, learning their culture, learning their language, learning their way of thinking, and adopting it in order to be aligned with and ingratiate themselves to those in power. The same holds true today. That's why you can find these liberal types today in the Muslim world saying things like, it's so embarrassing that our country still bans homosexuality in 2022. Or, how can we ever be a truly developed and advanced country while we still have these old archaic religious views? This is a colonized mindset. They're literally speaking about their own people with the same contempt with which colonizers speak about their people. These are the kind of people who cannot think for themselves. They just think and believe and adopt whatever the West says, and it's largely for class-related reasons. They want to be aligned with who they believe is powerful and superior. They can see that the people who espouse this ideology in the West, the liberals, are largely upper class, well-educated, rich, and powerful people, and they want to be like them. These are not deeply held principled positions that they're taking. They are ambitious, thoughtless positions being taken by intellectually stunted people. They cannot even see that these same ideologies have wrought havoc in the West, and that the people who believe in these ideologies and who advocate these ideologies and who promote these ideologies are delusional and hypocritical. All they know and all they can see is that those people are powerful, they dominate, and so therefore it must make sense and it must be smart to align with them. It's incredibly ironic that in the global south and in the Muslim world you find that these people think of themselves as the most intellectual, the most intelligent, the most sophisticated people in the society, when in fact, in reality, they are the most unthinking, unreasoning, and sycophantic people that there are. Fully indoctrinated, fully subordinate, and useful only to the people who wish to culturally, politically, and economically subjugate your nation. The people they want to be like, the people they want to be accepted by, do not respect them and never will. Just as the colonizers never respected the collaborators. The highest opinion that they have of you is that you know your place and that you take dictation with proper subservience. As long as you think of the West, as long as you think of non-Muslims, as long as you think of the rich as better than you, by virtue of the fact that they're Western, by virtue of the fact that they're non-Muslim, by virtue of the fact that they're rich, and all you ever do with your brain is to memorize their ideology, memorize their rhetoric, memorize their talking points, and the only thing you ever use your mouth to do is to repeat all of their talking points and all of their rhetoric, and there's not a single thought in your head that originated in your own mind, I'm telling you, you are sentencing yourself to irrelevance and to historical oblivion, because no one will ever remember you. Jazakumullahu khairan wa assalamu alaikum.